has sold more than 50 million
We're already
records.
talking hair.
We're already talking hair. Can you believe it? January everywhere. Sold more than 50 million records in a career that started in the 70s, but first burst onto the music scene and rewrote the rule book for women in rock and roll.
She's Suzi Quatro, of course. She joins us as a documentary about her life has been released on DVD. It's brilliant. You were gripped, weren't you, Ben?
Absolutely gripped.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Let's have a quick look.
So come alive, down in Devil May Drive.
A lot of girls that tried to be Suzi Quatro, but when it's in the DNA, you can't fake that.
Certainly her position in being like the first woman leading a band, having hits like that.
So make me stand for your man, honey. Try to can
This woman has so much energy, so much talent. She could have done anything.
She showed us that we could be who we were. Because with Suzi, there was never a question.
Suzi had a dream in Detroit, and all these years later, she is still living that dream. That is amazing.
That makes me cry when he says
Oh,
That's rock and
Suzi,
roll.
now you said that makes you cry. Well, what Henry Winkler said. Why does that make you cry?
When you're watching a film of your life,
Wow.
first of all, I said to the director, I want honesty. And I said, I don't want that. So I want honesty. He said, that's what we went for. I said, even cringe? If I cringe, fine. And I found myself, when I watched it with an audience, I didn't know I was there. I was on the side, going up for Q&A afterwards.
Right.
But I snuck in. And I'm feeling the audience emotion. I was crying at the cringe parts. I was crying at the happy parts. It's your life on the screen. And it goes to your head, I've done all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people are so nice, and that makes you cry, you know, because it's touching.
How long did it take to make the documentary?
4 years.
So over the course of 4 years, they were following you, getting this stuff together. There must have been some footage that you hadn't seen for years and years and years.
So many things were there that I haven't seen for years. So many comments I didn't expect. I mean, I think Henry's is one of my favorites because, and I don't think it's just because he's an actor. He meant what he said. And my son pointed out something. He said what he liked about the film was that everybody that spoke in it wasn't just going blah, blah. They were speaking from their hearts.
Yeah, it's authentic.
And this is what affects you.
Because, of course, you were in Happy Days for 3 series with Henry Winkler when he was at his height as the Fonz.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think when you were talking about the honesty in the documentary, which I was bowled over by, I didn't realise how young you were when you and your sisters created the
14,
14.
Pleasure Seekers was the
55
original
years.
group that you all did.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get spotted and get taken away from them. And the family dynamic between you and your sisters, and there's no holds barred with this documentary, talking about how they reacted to you leaving them, how you felt they were towards you when you went to London to come and try and blaze a trail.
Did it affect you?
Oh, my goodness. As a father myself, because, I mean, there's a moment where your father sends you a tape of comments of all of them sitting around the table talking about you. You put it in the tape player thinking it's going to be lovely stuff, and it was all really mean,
insults.
critical stuff.
Yeah, that was hard.
I mean,
How did you get through that? Because there were so many barriers you're breaking down. Being a woman in front of a rock band, being a woman doing rock in that way at that time, with the sexism around, and then not even having your family's backing.
It wasn't easy.
I bet.
I just had to have that from a tiny girl. What saw me through everything was the fact that I knew I was born to entertain.
Right.
Because we'd have family shows and everybody would do their bit, 5 kids. And when I did my bit, there would be silence and everybody would be...
it'll be gripped.
So in my little head, I went, I'm holding this audience. It's what I was born to do. So even though it was hard to leave, and I had to go to make it, I couldn't have everybody around. I always felt like the square peg in the round hole.
Sure.
That comes over in the movie. doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. It's important to me. Family is important to me. I love them all very much, but I was always over here.
Yeah.
And that's hard to live with.
There's been a lot of talk about the Me Too movement. A lot of things that happened in the past have now come to light. A lot of people are very frightened, and in an industry like yours, there are a lot of vulnerable women not having a good time. You've never been scared. How did you not be scared? How did you meet? I'm sure you must have had advances. How did you deal with that?
With my mouth.
Okay.
Bravado. I have the attitude I always have, and I got in the business very young, so you have a lot of drunks in bars and a lot of people trying to touch. I developed a very smart mouth, a very quick wit, and if somebody comes at me with the wrong attitude, they don't come at me for very long.
No.
Wow.
And I've got the quickest knee in show business.
There was a moment, though, Suzi,
Well, we won't go into that.
there was a moment when you Kate talking about of it being a different era, and my jaw dropped watching this. And I used to watch the Russell Harty show that was over here, and Russell Harty invites you on to the programme.
I just won Rear of the Year.
Well, I think so you've won Rear of the Year, and this is the clip when you arrive on the programme. This is how he greets you. He says, "Okay, hold on, let's have a look at the Rear of the Year."
It's amazing.
And then
look what he does.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, you had just won Rear of the Year, so I guess your rear was a talking point.
Yeah.
But
Thank
to
you.
actually be, what did you think when he
It's
did
exactly what happened.
Okay.
Because I am professional as the day is long. Okay. I went on a live television show.
Yeah.
that? Got it?
Okay. I didn't expect that to happen. He didn't do it mean. He did it kind of cute, and it was, you know, sort of like that. And went through my head very quickly. Do I do something here, live TV, or do I just let it slide? Normally, I wouldn't let it slide. But that particular moment, I thought, let's let the show run. If he had done that backstage, he would have been on the floor.
Right.
And he would have been. And I'm glad the whole crew laughed, because that wouldn't have been allowed. But the fact that he took his little moment to do it on the camera.
But
and then I would have messed up the whole show, and I wouldn't do that.
Suzi,
Well,
it's
that's
indicative,
nice.
isn't it, of a different time that we're in now. I mean, it's funny, people talk about, oh, it was a different era, a different time. That was a mainstream British talk show.
Yes.
That was acceptable.
All I can say is he must have really wanted to do that.
Well, yes.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It reminds me of AC/DC, and I was on a German television show with them, and I always tell the story because it's funny. I was walking up the staircase, and what's his name? Young.
Angus?
Yeah, he was behind me. And all of a sudden, he pinched my ass. And I turned like this to him, and he went, and I couldn't be mad because he went, "I'm sorry. I couldn't help it." I said, "So you got your one shot." I said, but he was actually quite sweet.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry.
And was he in his school uniform as well? Was that the other thing?
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's looking very like butter wouldn't melt.
Yeah, then it became a whole different area.
I do think, but one of the things that coming full circle and love as you come towards the end, in your son, who's been trying to write songs with you for ages, and you've kind of been suddenly says, "Right, Mum, I've really got to write," and you are now writing, and you've written this album with your son that has come out to huge critical acclaim as well. That must be an extraordinary thing for you, Suzi.
Incredible, because it wasn't expected. He just kept saying it to me. He's a good guitar player, and I kept thinking, oh, and then I finally went, okay. And we thought we were making demos. We were having fun. And then third demo in, I said, we're making an album. And he said, we are. And then I said to him and the guys whose studio we used, I said, one thing for the same as I did with the DVD. I said, I want no pushing a song this way, no pushing a song. I want this album to be organic. One of the best albums of my career. Every song has its own voice, you know, and it was an amazing. He pushed. I don't know how he did it. He pushed my Suzi Quatro buttons.
Wow.
I don't know how he did it, but he did.
It was his DNA, maybe. Do you know what I mean? He's tapped into exactly who you are.
It's who we grew up with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watching his mother on stage.
Yeah.
So he had in his mind who I am, and that's the vision he had for the album.
Great. Yeah.
He's
And
very
is it
good.
as much fun now? I mean, it must be lovely working with your son, but is it as much fun performing now as it was? Oh, look, there he was when he was very small. I presume he's grown up a little since then, if he's writing with you. But that's such a cute photo.
He's 6'4" now, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot less, yeah.
That was a while ago. But is it as much fun? We got lots of pictures behind you.
Some funny
which are
ones, I bet.
Some fun ones to look at. And when you look back at those and how young you were, do you think you enjoyed it as much then as now? Or
I enjoy
what's
it
your
more
view?
now.
Do you?
Because
Yeah.
now, when you get the grand old age, I'm 69 now. I've been in the business for 55 years. I did 80 shows this year. New Year's Eve, I played an arena, 14,000 people.
Yeah.
I am comfortable
Suzi,
in my
sorry,
skin.
did you say you're 69?
I'm 69 now. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that.
Come on, tell me how surprised you were.
Yeah,
Well,
really
I think I probably just showed that.
Go on.
You performed.
And
to
you've lived
14
a rock and roll lifestyle, but you
Yes.
stayed
Ish.
away from the naughty bits, didn't
Ish.
you? Yeah.
I am a professional.
Right.
My dad told me something that stuck in my head like it was tattooed on my heart. I was about 14, 15. And he said, when you go out on that stage, if there's 10 people in the bar or 10,000 people in an arena, he said, just remember, every single person there has taken hard-earned money out of their pocket to see you. And you better be together, and you better be straight, and you better perform and do your best. I've taken this my whole life.
And that has probably kept you on the straight and narrow and protected your health as well, whereas we've seen so many others fall by the wayside.
Why do that? I love what I do. I can't understand performers. I don't get it. I know a lot do. Having a drink before they go on stage. Surely the going on stage is the high.
It's the buzz, yeah.
That's the high. There I am again. Oh, my son's in here
Look
somewhere.
at you. Brilliant. Well, look, wow, we all want to know your moisturiser. If you could make a note of that. Rock and roll is obviously the breath of life.
Well, you sat down, you said, you've been asked to the jungle.
Yes.
Yep.
Would you go in?
No.
No, that's not your thing.
They've asked me many times. No, I don't think it's my thing. I would do Strictly.
You do Strictly?
Because it's so not my thing.
Now,
Wow.
So
I like challenges, you know.
that'd be a
How
challenge.
would you be with the lycra and sequins?
They have to make it leather.
Oh,
yeah. Did you see the 70s?
Okay.
Actually, do you know what, the bit in there where you talk about when the idea came about for the leather jumpsuit is just fabulous, because that's such an iconic, like we're talking about that iconic.
I still wear it now.
Do you?
Yeah,
The same one?
going on.
But how lucky for me that I chose an image that has just been...
Timeless. It's just stayed there.
Why haven't you said anything the whole time?
Because he's gripped.
He's
got his
absolutely
eyes
gripped.
preparing for the news coming
Yeah.
up.
He's
Do you want me to say
just thinking about the
boring.
jumpsuit.
He's still nervous about the quick knee. That's what it is. So the DVD's coming out, and honestly,
And there's a movie coming.
There's a movie. Yes, the movie of your life. So who's going to play? Who would you have play you, Suzi?
Jeez, I wish I could do it myself, but Miley Cyrus has been
Miley
mentioned. She
Cyrus.
has been
Wow.
approached. And she is a cutie pie, isn't she?
Yeah,
Isn't
Talented
she?
girl.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be involved in the casting, obviously, and unless I get the vibe, you know, I want a vibe.
Are you writing the screenplay? Is the screenplay?
I'm working on the screenplay with the writer, and I'm putting all my pivotal moments down and certain things I want in. Thanksgiving tape is important.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving tape is important. That's the tape that they sent you of all the.
That
fans
nearly
sitting
destroyed
around.
me. So that's an important part of the film.
Well, we've seen the success of the Elton John movie. We've seen the success of the Queen movie. I mean, one of your life that charts your life like that with Miley Cyrus or whoever it might be that plays it.
Whoever it
would
might be.
But equally as thrilling and entertaining. So
Thank
it's
you.
lovely to see you. Thank you for coming in.
I think we're running out of time now. Thank
Well,
you.
can you tell?
I'm going to go back and go to bed if that's okay.
If you could you just write down your moisturiser and where you got the leather jumpsuit made? And that'll be me sorted
Would
for
you
2020.
wear one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You need a lot of goose fat and a shoehorn to get me in it, but I would love to do that.
Talc on the inside is the way.
Talc, is it? Talc on the inside.
Suzi, thanks
All right,
for coming.
brilliant.
Thank
Let's
you.
have a look at the weather here.
That's my resolution.
Yeah, but
Leather
bit more
jumpsuit by
leather.
the end of 2020.
And the
OK.
hair.
Here's Laura with the weather.